Hey there people, welcome back to another What Is video. In this one we're going to be taking a look at Genshin Impact, the waifu collecting experience. If the video is helpful, do give it a like. You can also subscribe for more. I am also over on Twitch if you want to drop by and talk some games. Links in the video description down below. But yeah, let's jump into the video and see what is Genshin Impact. How does this free-to-play game play? Well, it's an open world JRPG, out on almost everything but not available on the Xbox for some reason. You have crossplay and cross progression as well, so you can boot it up on your phone and then later continue on your PC or the PlayStation 4. While playing, you do get to use multiple characters and you can swap them on the fly during combat. This character swapping adds some depth to a rather simple combat. Each character has a specific weapon type that can't be changed. Each also has two abilities, so you have a cast ability and an ultimate, which charges over time. Weapon combos are simple, they're mostly one button combos. You get a basic attack and a charged one. The depth in combat really comes in when you start switching characters and mixing the elements. So each character is split into an elemental group. And these groups are wind, earth, lightning, nature, water, fire, and frost. And the fun actually starts when you start mixing them up. You can use the fire abilities to set enemies on fire, then if you mix it up with wind, you actually help spread that fire and you end up doing more damage with the wind ability. And if you mix water and frost, well, you end up freezing enemies. And if you mix water or frost with lightning, you end up electrocuting enemies. Ability combination and having the right characters is what adds depth to the combat. But having the right characters is where one of the problems starts to show. With the gacha system, or basically loot boxes that contain characters as well as weapons. Yes, if you throw money at the boxes, you have a chance to get better characters than the ones it gives you for free. So in a way, it is pay to win, but because the game doesn't have PvP, you might not notice it as much. Personally, I have not felt the need to spend any money to progress further in the game, but you will probably start feeling it on the end game because some characters simply have better abilities than others. But you do get currency to spend on these loot boxes just by playing the game. So the game doesn't really force you to buy it, and the game also has a battle pass because why not? It has a heavy focus on exploration and it rewards you for it, and I do enjoy just running around, opening random boxes, completing random challenges, some puzzles, boss fights, and just hunting down collectibles. The world doesn't feel empty, but damn, it needs some mounts. Just running around with that little stamina bar while you don't have all the teleport points can be a little bit annoying. Another way you can move around the world is by gliding, but it's a bit slow, but it's still fun and really helpful to get around. Okay, let's talk some XP and how confusing it is when you're actually starting out. So you have the adventure rank, which is basically your account level. Then you have your character levels, your weapon levels, and then your artifact levels. There are a bit too many things you can actually level up in this game. The adventure rank is your main one, and it's what lets you bring the other ones up. So leveling up your character's weapon and artifacts are done by using items. For example, weapons, you can enhance them by dumping lower level weapons or XP items into them. After a few levels, you can ascend them. For this, you need to collect more items. Some are drops in the instances the game has, but they only do drop on specific days of the week. The same applies for artifacts and characters. But characters do have another thing that ties back into the loot boxes, because if you pull a repeat character, you get a new passive that makes that one stronger. So if you pull, for example, 2 Barbaras, you unlock more passives for Barbara. The game also has co-op, but unfortunately it feels like this was an afterthought. When I recorded this video, it had too many restrictions. First, it only unlocks at adventure rank 16. It takes a while to get there. Second, it doesn't let you do story quests. You can explore, but even then, if you're not the host, chests and collectibles are off limits, but instances do work in boss fights. It supports up to 4 players, but the game feels like a single player game. I do like how the game looked. The cel-shaded art style is one that normally ages well. The game does look good, don't get me wrong, but just don't go zooming in too much, because that's when you're gonna get the bad textures. So just don't do that. Also, just look at these 2D veggies.
Oh god, it's so good. So good.
Performance-wise, I did have no crashes, but the system requirements on PC are surprisingly high. The options menu was also kind of a surprise considering it's mostly a game that focuses on the mobile platform. and not on the PC, so I was pleasantly surprised. We're gonna be talking about audio now, so I'm gonna pause the music and I'm gonna swap it out with the in-game music so you guys can get a feel for it. The audio in the game, especially the music, is very beautiful. They really fit in with the visuals. The story or main quests are all voiced, but the secondary ones are not. Voiceover work is good. I was again surprised by how good the English one actually was. The game does also come with Chinese, English, and I believe Korean. It can be a really chill game if you're just running around exploring. It's really fun. Story-wise, it's pretty much standard RPG story. You pick one of two twins. They get separated at the start, and the main thing is you're looking for your brother or your sister, depending on which one you chose. You start on a beach, not knowing full well what happened. You start meeting other characters, and then the story starts picking up from there, with your main goal being finding your sister or your brother. It is a free-to-play game with a certain degree of grind and min-maxing, and it's also going to be getting more and more content as time goes on, making it a highly replayable game. If you don't get tired of the gameplay, that is. Overall, for a free-to-play game, this one offers a lot of content and doesn't ask you for anything up front. It's a highly replayable game with a beautiful world that is fun to explore and rewards you for it, but unfortunately doesn't have the best monetization. The focus on loot boxes and randomness doesn't really sit well with me. The good part is that at no point did I feel the need to spend money on it, but it's still a thing to keep in mind. And the fact that it also does give you a way to get the premium currency just by playing is also a plus. The co-op though felt like a completely missed opportunity. I do hope they end up changing how it works in the future, because right now it has too much limitations and it doesn't really make sense to play with somebody else. Because if you're joining somebody else, you're gonna be losing out on some stuff if you're not doing the instances, that is. It just has too many limitations to it. But it's a solid game. Try it out if you're a fan of JRPGs, but do protect your wallet from the waifus.
Wait, don't go! Give my sister back!
And that's gonna be it for Genshin Impact, the waifu collecting experience. The video was helpful. You know what to do to the like and the subscribe button down below. You can also drop by the Twitch channel and just have a chat with me if you want. And as always, people, thanks for watching, stay awesome, drink your water, and I will see you in the next one.